Late run, hang on. Play game footsies really fast.
Nikki 6 is on the table.
Nikki 6.
6.
2 mugs. Feels right.
Feels right. We're recording.
Are we?
Yeah, we're recording.
Alright.
So, you want to start it off?
Sure. Welcome back to the Sparkle Lounge. I'm Kat.
I'm Adam.
I'm Becca. This is Chad. He's not really happy about being here. He's probably not going to be here for very long.
He's a little happier than I usually see him. Oh, he doesn't like me very
no,
much.
angry.
He only
Angry
likes
little
me.
hedgehog.
It's fine.
Alright.
What are we talking about today, Kat?
John Bon Jovi, I hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Album. This house is not for sale.
Because radio stations refuse to play it.
Yeah. Alright, let's just...
It's not.
Let's rant a bit.
Let's cut to the chase. I think, Beck, I'm going to speak for both of us when I say this. I think that this is our favorite Bon Jovi album. Which... let's just jump right there. And you know what? I will acknowledge...
We'll also acknowledge that it has some... We have some bias towards it for... I mean, it's our album we play before every concert and things like that.
Sure.
So there's other reasons that we love it too.
And I'll acknowledge
but
that by no means are we extremely well versed in Bon Jovi's discography. Like, I'm not super fluent in it to the level of like Leopard or Speedwagon or Crew or Led Zeppelin, to where I can tell you the track number on the album on the year it came out for every song. However,
Nice.
Song for song,
hey, buddy.
nothing beats this album.
Yeah.
Nothing.
True
So,
facts.
apparently you've never listened to Slippery When Wet.
I own it on vinyl.
Or
Noticeable
possibly,
I know New Jersey.
possibly even
self-titled album.
self-titled first
They're
album.
incredible.
New Jersey.
I mean,
This one's better.
don't.
Justify it.
I will say the thing that I think we both like about this album, what I like about this album, not being even as familiar probably as she is with his original stuff. I've still had to go back and I've still probably listened to it mostly piecemeal. I don't actually own any of his previous albums. That's negligence on my part.
Right.
I would like to. I just haven't been here that long because, you know, I found out about music like a year and a half ago. So, just haven't gotten there yet. But one of the great things about this album is I mean, as Bon Jovi says in his own review of this album and everything, that it is the maturity and the integrity of the band. And so
I'll give him that.
Yeah, so that is what I appreciate more than anything, that I think sets it apart from all of Bon Jovi's old stuff and most other bands, even old or new stuff. That I really appreciate, that it is such a wholesome album, if you put it that way. And that I really...
Well, they've had plenty
I think
of
that
chances.
just makes it resonate a lot more.
They've had plenty of chances to get it right.
Sure.
Because I believe there's 11 albums between this one and New Jersey. 11 albums.
You sure?
Something like that. 9 or 11.
Because this is their 13th studio album.
Okay, then there's 10 albums.
Okay.
There's
Again, I'm not super fluent in their discography, so I don't know where in their lineup New Jersey came, but
That's third.
okay then.
Chad disagreed.
Chad disagreed. But I don't know. And there's an interview I was listening to where the way Bon Jovi described it as, like, they're the band who writes the big, you know, like loop you in arena rock hit, like Living on a Prayer. It's like, we're doing this together and we can do whatever, and just that's what they're known for. That's what they're good at. But for this album, the kind of place they're always afraid to go to, because he was kind of saying, like, it's always, you can never be vulnerable, because I didn't want to let, like, the piece of my life that's in y'all's life, I didn't want to let you down, like, type thing. Like, I'm here for that, kind of like Joe always says, like, their concerts are, you come to our concert and we want you to forget about life for 90 minutes. We want you to just, like, have fun, which, yeah, we totally do. But for this album, he's like,
I'm not going to try to interpret the kind of harder parts of life or anything like that.
Just here for a good time. Whereas this album was very much we no longer have anything to prove. Let's just lay this out before us. This is where we're at right now, and just making no bones about that fact. And it's awesome.
He's pooping on the table.
Yep. That went great.
Oh, Lord.
So maybe Chad doesn't agree.
Maybe Chad doesn't agree.
But
That's
yeah.
Fantastic. So I
guess we should back up a step.
So the more I listen to it, the more I like it. I'll give you guys that. I mean, the more I listen to it, the more I realize it's not Slippery When Wet or
It sounds
New Jersey.
it does sound distinct from all their other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it does
Can't
sound
deny
like their last 10 or so, or 9, 8 albums.
When you put on Slippery When Wet, you put this on, and it's a...
You definitely can tell it's Bon Jovi, though. I mean, they're not losing that.
But we'll take a step back, I guess. Play out.
It's a great idea bringing the hedgehog out.
You know, I kind of knew that was going to happen, actually. It just did.
But he had fun while he was here.
He had a lot of fun while he was here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but this house is not for sale. 13th studio album.
He's a hedgehog.
2016. The big hits, of course, being like New Jersey. Was that 89?
Around there.
And then Slippery When Wet in 87.
Yeah. Self-titled's really good.
Yes, Self-titled's really good.
84.
But yeah, but this album.
Well,
it's my
we'll
favorite.
just have to go through it.
We'll have to go through it.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Once Becky comes back. What's the first song?
Also, I guess it's worthy of note that Richie Sambora is not on this album.
I was going to ask. I didn't know.
Yeah.
All right. So now that
we'll talk about that. There's a song that I think probably references him, so we'll talk about it when we get there.
Okay, sure.
Okay, but the first
We're
song.
going to do the whole thing where we score it?
For
Okay.
sure.
All right.
All right, and we'll play
First
it up
song
here.
is the title track.
This house is not for sale.
This song is the song that is the reason I fell in love with the album. She played it for the first time for me just in the car. She just had it on.
Mm-hmm.
I, at that point, hadn't listened to much Bon Jovi at all. Heard this song. And again, the thing that just made it stand apart from, most other bands that we listened to at least, was just the, again, it just didn't sound like, as Leppard describes themselves writing Armageddon, they were 5 horny guys on stage, like, what are their songs gonna be about, kind of thing, and there was just, I don't know, I love the song, it's catchy, it gets in your head, it's a fun song, anyway, and then after hearing Bon Jovi's take on it, where, it starts off with these 4 walls have got a story to tell, and he says those were the 4 members of the band. Oh. That this is the opening track of the album. It is a concept album, and that it is mostly about the band. And it's their story, particularly the last 3 years before this album came out. And it's just their life and where they are now. So I don't know.
I like this song. It's so good. And I don't know what they're doing this year, because I didn't see them this year, but in 2017 when I saw them, this was what they opened with.
It's a good opener. Which
worked really well. And I remember, because I remember being super happy that I listened to this album before I went to that concert, because this had just dropped. And I was like, I should probably listen to the album before I go to the concert. And then they opened with one of the songs, like, oh, I'm really glad I heard that. And then proceeded to play, which I guess goes back to the fact I'm saying, we have nothing to prove. Like, they played almost this entire album at that concert. Sure, you still got Living on a Prayer and Bad Medicine and, You Can Love a Bad Name. Oh, they didn't play Runaway. Oh, wow. But you got, the big hits, but they played a really good chunk of this album. Which I wish I could go back now, because I did not nearly appreciate it to that extent, because the only songs, I knew this one, and I remember liking Roller Coaster and being happy they played that live, and I think I knew Knockout, but everything else I was, just kind of vaguely familiar with, so.
Isn't that great?
What are your thoughts, Adam?
It's a fun song.
You gave it a 7, so it's above a 5.
It's above a 5. It's not my favorite one on the album.
It's probably not mine. It's probably why I give it a 10, not an 11.
Yeah.
Let's be real. We
know
the scale goes to 11.
Sure. Wait, I guess never explained the scale. We just thought it was something.
We explained it, kind of.
Scale of 1 to 10. 5 is neutral.
Yeah. But we often go to 11.
Because we go to 11.
We're just that intense.
Why can't we just change it, make 10 higher?
But this scoring system goes to 11.
Sometimes even 12.
Or what was that number?
A large prime number.
14,
some
15,
some large integer. I kept writing digits.
You're like, this feels right.
I don't remember what song it was for, honestly. Anyway, that's fine.
I'm sure it was for Song for Someone.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm definitely
You're right. You're like, oh, that sounds right. But yeah, great song. Great way to open an album. Shall we move on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Bury me a night long, let's travel home.
7 still?
Yeah, I almost gave it an 8. I like this song.
Mm-hmm.
You like
Fairly
it better than
introspective.
This House Is Not For Sale, potentially?
Or the same?
A little bit, probably about the same.
Really?
Yeah.
So this
Not sure
song,
why.
this song was a super slow burn for me. The front half of this album to me is packed with so many great songs.
This is when you had to get through.
This was the song that I kind of had to get through. Now listening to the album as a whole, it's very clearly like you need this little break in between this song and the next one. Right. Yeah. So you need that a little bit lower moment,
This is
which
Living
I
with
think
the
this
Ghost, by the
which
way.
I think this song is. Yeah.
Have you ever said that?
And it's also just
There'll be
it's got some
titles right here where I'm holding my hands in the video.
Perfect.
It's gonna be
Awesome. I don't have to say anything more. Continue.
It's got some.
No, you need to say it so I know what to do when I'm editing it. Sorry.
By all means, continue. It's got some weird imagery with the ghost stuff and all that. Like
Sure.
for a while, I just didn't. It didn't resonate with me nearly as quickly as This House Is Not For Sale or some of the others. So it's not my favorite in that. I'm going to be a little harsher with scoring this one just because I do love all the songs on this album. So that's why. Honestly,
All the songs?
Yes.
pretty much, yeah. There's like one at the end that's probably gonna be a little bit lower score, but I still like it. So
Yeah, I feel very confident saying there's not a song on this album that I won't be at least 8. I love every song on this album. It took
it's
a
just the
while.
thought. Honestly, it's the thought that goes into them. It takes a while to like really listen to all of them.
Yeah, I don't know if you're this way, but I know we're this way, where there's albums that you think are really good, and then there's albums that kind of go beyond that to a point where every time it comes on, you're just like, yes, and you literally love every single song, like Hysteria being one like that.
Hysteria's
Or anything by
good.
Leopard, let's just quantify that. Or
Hysteria.
Cherry Pie by Warrant, or Styx's latest album for me, probably Delta Deep for you. Maybe Slide It In, I would say, is getting there for me,
Yeah.
by Whitesnake. Like, this is one of those albums where every single track I can listen to at any point, and I'm fine with it.
Well, good.
It's also just an album that we've listened to so much that we've had an opportunity for all the songs to really kind of hit home, and you learn all the lyrics and all. And that's again, to me, that's what this song's. I mean, I said that over and over with you too, and I'll say it again with this one that I think it's listening to all the lyrics of these, and then even today we sat down and listened to John Bond's commentary on each song, which is super great. I think we're gonna put the link in the comments on this.
It's awesome.
Okay.
And it's awesome. It's a good quick summary of what each song is about. But especially listening to that explanation, even the couple songs that I was kind of like, I like the song at this point, but I'm not really even sure what it's about. You're missing the metaphor, that kind of thing. And then he explains it, and you're like, oh, I see that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So.
And this is the one I said we're gonna come back to. This is one that I think there's a hint of it being about Richie Sambora in here, because he talks that it's about, okay, I'm living with these ghosts of people who I've worked with before and who have happened, but moving on, and here there's a line of like no future living in the past, like gotta move on from here. And there's one interview I saw with him where it came up and he was like, yeah, it's about like, living with ghosts, and well, I'll let you figure that one out, and then kind of moved on. And it was kind of like the tone of, okay, I think to some degree this has something about Richie in it.
Right.
But at least in the general sense of leaving those kind of things behind. And
Yeah.
all that, so.
But should we go to the
right.
next song?
The next song, let's go.
What is the next song?
Knockout.
Every day I wake up with my back against the wall.
So, I'm going to guess. You guys are probably turning it up to 11 on this one.
I almost did. I'm very conservative with my 11s.
Okay.
That's...
What?
That doesn't surprise me. For the same reason that I knocked a half point off this one.
Okay, there's a difference between 9.5 and 3.
Well, yeah.
That is actively dislikes.
Yeah. What's wrong with it? Please tell us.
I think if I had the limited context that you guys have for Bon Jovi, I might like it. Sure. To me, when I listen to it, it is, and like a lot of the previous albums, it is the, oh gosh, how are we going to have another hit like It's My Life? Because every album seems to have an attempt at that stadium rocking anthem type song. I think this is that one for this album.
See, I would not call that this one for I think there's others that work better as it.
I agree.
I would make the point as an arena rock band, that's kind of their job to write hits like that.
Well, I think they missed with this one.
Okay,
I
that's what
think the whole song is.
He thinks it was an effort at that.
Yeah, I think the whole song is a cliche, but.
Yeah. Oh, it is absolutely, and
Okay.
that's actually why. I mean, that's why I was saying. I was pretty sure it was for the same reason. I knocked a half point off this one, so this was actually probably one of my first favorites on the album. Next to This House Is Not for Sale and this one were probably my first two favorites.
Yeah.
At that point, I would have laughed at you if you had said I would give this one anything other than an 11, because it was nothing but fun. All that. Honestly, the last handful of times I've listened to this album, the more this one kind of fades into the background for me. Because of that, because it is the more cliched. And again, what I love so much about this album is the fact that they do explore other areas of life. A lot of it's not as cliched. It means a little bit more. But even Bon Jovi talking about it, he was like, "Yeah, this one's pretty self-explanatory. It's this is go get 'em, Tiger." You know, like that's what this song is, and it's super fun, and I love it, and I will run to it any day. Of the week.
Running to the song is so good.
Let's go. But if it comes down to which songs do I really love and which ones really resonate off this album, this is not.
This is definitely the song on there that is still them doing their tried and true 80s tactic.
Yeah,
we're gonna hit,
absolutely.
we're rolling this together, we're waking up with a chip on our shoulder, like here comes the knockout, like let's take on life. This is that is what this is, for sure.
I think
I buy it though, and I
they're trying
love
too hard with this one, but
Okay.
it's me.
All right.
I think it's also, I think it matches the tone of the album. This album is very much like a roller coaster. They do the ups and downs, and I think well. And this song was the up from Living with the Ghost that it needed.
Which is about to go
So-
into
Right.
the wonderful ballad of Labor of Love.
So let's go.
Do you really want to do this now?
Let's go.
Smokestack blowing, there's a fire in the sky.
87.5.
8.75.
Rising up higher than high. Precious
Let's go in lowest to highest.
6. Okay, so you like it. Or at least are above meh with it.
Yeah, I guess I do like it. It's not my favorite on the album by any means. I like the guitar, the opening guitar. It reminds me of that Chris Isaac song, which I can't think of the name of. You guys probably weren't born at that point. It's a nice slow ballad.
He just sings it super well.
He does. It's well done.
It's one of the. I think they can. This and Scars on this guitar, the two songs. You hate the song apparently. Just hold your hand there.
We'll get there.
Showcase his voice nicely. I think it's worth noting that I didn't realize until today that John Bon and his wife, as he likes to say in every interview, apparently is I got it right the first time. The woman he married in 1989 is still the woman he's with, and so this is very much obviously his love letter.
He made it
Sure,
work somehow.
sure.
Yeah.
He made it work,
Despite everything.
and it's getting across this point of if you're in love, nothing's really it's not
Sure.
work.
It's a great
So
song.
it's
Yeah,
I
I
just
like
don't
it.
care about it.
Yeah, so I love it for being the ballad on the album. I love the way his voice sounds on it. I love the song. Since you're drawing the parallel with Scars on this guitar, I think it's vastly better than that one.
They're different.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
And the point of the song is different.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they should be different. This one I think was a better executed song anyway. Taking apart anything that they're out or anything.
There's more going on in
this
this one,
song,
for
when this
sure.
one comes on, it definitely has this is a ballad, and
Sure.
it does a good job of that emotional manipulation and all that it's for. So yeah, I really like it. I do like some of the imagery and some of the lines in this song. I do really like.
Yeah. Let's
So
just, right now, the lyrics throughout this whole thing.
they're worth reading
Yeah.
if you don't know them or paying attention.
If you
to
take out your little, buy the CD because physical media, please pull out that front little sleeve and actually read the lyrics.
I saw that little grimace.
You have a record player now too, honey.
No.
So
I'll soon have a reel-to-reel. I know. I can't hear it. High five. Fred, handshake. All right.
The dogs.
Fantastic.
All right.
guard dogs.
What's the next song? Because apparently my listing was completely out of order.
Born Again Tomorrow.
If you were born again tomorrow.
This is a fun song.
I think this was the true effort at. I mean, the other, Knockout might have been an effort at it. I think this is where they
hit
hit that
right.
more. I think this.
I would agree.
I think this is much more
this one I would add to a playlist.
Right.
I would not add Knockout.
This is the arena rock. This is the arena rock version of this album, but that also fits on this album because it's still about the whole.
It's fairly
you know,
introspective and.
Right. It's the our favorite line that also seems to be Bon Jovi's favorite line. The would you relive any moment? Would you tear out any page? Would you relive every moment? Would you tear out any page?
Yeah, of course.
It's still kind of a cliche.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole "Would you live tomorrow like yesterday" kind of thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's still the cliche, but
it's still so good.
yeah. So I think this was a good hit of arena rock style, but it fits on this album.
I'm in Joe Elliott's camp of don't scoff at cliches, embrace them.
Well, I mean, I don't
Right.
listen to songs for lyrics. It's got to sound good first, and if I get beyond that, I may pay attention to lyrics. I mean, still got to be good music.
It's got to. You got to go both ways though. On that,
I don't think
me,
lyrics
it goes
can
both
save
ways.
a bad song.
See, for me, they can. If they're good enough, then I will like the music because I like the meaning
it's got
of the.
a beat and I can dance to it, you know.
All right, white boy.
Yeah. I think I'm in the middle here because you're the I need lyrics. You're the I need music.
I need rock.
There are songs that I don't care for the lyrics much.
Yeah.
Example, Motley Crue's "This Ain't a Love Song." I do not agree with those lyrics. I still love that song. Well, then on the other side, there are songs that I love the lyrics and don't care about the music, but I'll still like because of the lyrics.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm that way too. It depends. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
There
We're in the same camp. You're
right.
in.
There are songs that I like because of the music, and there are songs that I like because of the lyrics.
And then there's some that, like this one, that land in the middle and have both perfect.
Yeah.
Have both in spades.
Perfect A. This lands in the middle perfectly. Well, you had 10.5. Okay.
I think the music is wonderful, and I think the lyrics are awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to your point about the whole like don't scoff at cliches. I mean, I'm with that too, but it is I think the cliches can be overdone. I'm not scoffing at it inherently because it's a cliche.
Yeah.
You know, hence otherwise I'd be scoffing at this song. I'd be scoffing at so many.
Absolutely.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think Knockout, again, the more I've listened to it, the more it has fallen flat. I don't think it quite stands up to, especially the level of cliche that it is. It sounds like they're trying too hard to put out such a cliche. It's like, you realize this is nothing new, right? Like, we've all heard this before. You know, that kind of...
I do like this one more than Knockout now.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Originally it was the other way around, but...
Exactly.
Now this song comes on and you're just like, yes.
So, alright, moving on.
Sure.
I just want to say the opening line of this ain't a test, it's a warning I think is really
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a really good line.
There's a lot of clever lines in a lot
I
of
feel
songs.
like in the song, before I really knew the song, when I was first looking through the album, I actually showed it to my brother because he's very much into the EDM and music.
Likewise.
And I feel we're very different people. But I feel like in this song you can kind of hear like influences from like.
Oh yeah, I actually noticed that across the album. There's quite a few of the songs like I know I've heard this before somewhere, or this reminds me of some pop song I can't
This is an
remember.
album I put on for my little sister who would not listen to any of my other classic rock albums, you know, and so I'm driving home from Atlanta last Christmas with her, and I put in this album, and Knockout came on, and I remember that was the moment where she kind of looked at me and she goes, "You're right, this is really good," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Cool."
Oh. Yeah. Which is interesting because I saw an interview with John Bon Jovi who was like, their influences, he's like, honestly, I'm so bad, but I just don't really listen to music nowadays. I'm not up to date on what's going on in today's culture. Like the opposite of Phil Collins, where like Phil's like into everything and knows all. Like John's like, I haven't listened to anything in years. I don't know. I need kids to show me how technology works. So interesting that. Yeah.
I would say Phil.
Well, which is probably why it sounds like Bon Jovi still. I mean,
I would say Phil Collins has actually admitted that, you know, a lot of times he'll even say like, "My son introduced me to this." Like that's the so. I think it's not necessarily that he's just super into it all that either, but he's at least got feelers.
Got feelers out. Where's John? I don't even know. Is Led Zeppelin still around? I don't know. But yeah, okay. Track 6, Roller Coaster.
I see you thinking twice. Wish I could read your mind.
I don't like the song.
This was another slow burn. I remember liking it the first time, but it was definitely not one of the first 2 times I listened to it that I was like, anything about.
So many other songs on this album I'd rather listen to.
It is for sure my favorite song on this album at this point.
I think it's
Roller Coaster.
Yes.
This is the song where like I draw the comparison to you saying it about like Leopard, where you're like in your head, you're like, oh, this is probably my favorite song, and then you hear it live, and then like live you hear Rock of Ages, and you're like, oh wait, but that's amazing. Like there's the song you think should be your favorite, then the song that actually is. Like I feel like The House Is Not For Sale and Knockout are my two that are like my favorite on the albums, but then Born Again Tomorrow and Roller Coaster come on, and I'm like, wait, that's right.
Yeah.
This song.
What do you have against it?
I just don't care for it.
No reasons?
I just don't like the sound of it. It doesn't do it for me.
Okay.
I think it's I like the build of it. I like the it starts off like almost balladesque, like it could have been taken either way.
But there's still that driving force,
right? There and then it builds up into that first chorus.
That kick drum comes in, and you're
and then it goes back down for that second verse, and you get back into the EDM-ish choruses, with a much more driving beat. I just.
And I love the imagery of the,
the roller
life
coaster.
being a merry-go-round, it's a roller coaster, and have the theme park be the backdrop for, like, it's just, It's one of the songs, like, Born Tomorrow, where the music and the lyrics meet in spades, and it's just, which a lot of this album is, actually, I think, for both of us.
This one in particular, yeah. This is for sure my favorite.
Yeah, I think I'd feel comfortable saying that with you. This is probably my favorite song on the album. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite song on the album?
Walls.
Okay.
Walls?
I'm assuming you mean the first song. This House Is Not For Sale?
There's
not a song called Walls. Unless it's one of the bonus songs.
So here's the problem. Was I using the deluxe edition?
This is why you should. Hey, remember that physical media thing?
When we were us,
Walls. Okay, that's a bonus track, so I've never heard it.
Why is it at the front?
No, we've never heard it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys are missing out then.
I've never heard
Cool,
Walls.
that's
I've
exciting.
never
We'll go back and
heard
listen to it.
When We Were Us.
Yeah, so when you look at an album and it has like 16 songs on it, it's probably a deluxe edition.
Well, I thought I specifically picked the. Usually they put the bonus stuff on the end.
Yeah.
So that threw me off.
Yeah,
So
that's
okay,
mixed
so I
up.
don't have a favorite song on this album.
Okay, if you took that
The
off.
deluxe edition, I don't know now.
Oh, Roller Coaster's so good.
New Year's Day.
Really?
That's the next song.
Maybe.
Should we go to that?
I think.
All right.
Let's go there then.
I don't have anything after that.
The midnight bells are ringing.
It's your favorite, but it's lower than the score that you got for
This
this
is
time.
what I like. What I like, not necessarily my favorite.
Okay.
Wow.
This song to me is almost too much like Knockout and Born Again Tomorrow. I mean,
True.
it's another. I mean, it said like New Year's Day, like it's a new beginning. It's not just a day on the calendar kind of thing. That whole thing. I feel like we've kind of already covered that with Born Again Tomorrow and Knockout.
And those other
Agreed.
two are better.
And those other two are better.
More than happy to get rid of Knockout and replace it with this one.
Oh no, I like
Oh no
Knockout
no
over
no!
this
I
one.
would take both of those better because this one doesn't even have the arena rock fun aspect of it
Oh,
as
okay.
much and all.
Okay.
So that's
So an interesting
that's my thoughts on this.
point to that.
I do enjoy it, but
Was so apparently John made a point that in a lot of albums, like it's been mostly him and like maybe one of the person working on him, and then like Tico and I think David's his name, like the drummer and the bassist, wouldn't even be there, and they would just show up at the end and like have the arrangements already there and would like record like 4 or 5 songs a day and just cool, like they weren't even involved. But for this album, that very much wasn't the case, and everyone was there, and this was one that John originally wrote as a ballad just with his acoustic guitar that was more of a waltz style.
I can see that.
Brought it in,
Yeah.
and then the two of them were like, oh, hang on, and they revamped it from that waltz style to this more upbeat, what you
he
hear.
said they open with it. I would be interested to hear it as an opener.
Yeah, and he said he can't imagine not opening with it.
Right.
Really? I would not use this as
interesting.
opener.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This
Which
House
is-
Is Not For Sale, I would think would be the
Sure,
opener.
or
Right.
even
Which is what I
Knockout,
saw.
or
Yeah, any
Yeah.
of those. So I
even
don't know.
Roller
Born Again
Coaster.
Tomorrow, Roller Coaster.
Well, yeah, but not this one.
Right, so I would be
It's
interested to
interesting.
hear what it actually sounded like live and.
But it might work. It's like when we heard that Leopard was opening with Rocket this year, and we were like,
Yeah.
how?
and then it
Then we
worked
saw
so
it,
well.
and we're like,
Yeah.
I still miss Let's Go, but
Sure.
it worked. So I wonder if that'd
Sure.
be the same here. We didn't see it, so
No.
I feel like we can't comment on it. Let's
go.
All right, The Devil's in the Temple, track 8.
This was a church, a house full of prayer. It's dark now.
This should probably be higher.
And
Every time I listen to this song, I like it less.
I'm the opposite.
I can see it.
I like it a lot more after listening to him talk about it.
I was about to say, so I hardcore did not really like the song at all. And in the last couple listen throughs, I've finally been like, all right, I could do this. Once again, I don't like the imagery or there, and I'm not sure what the metaphor is. I'm not like, it's I'm kind of just confused by it.
Yeah.
But I'm getting to where, okay, I can actually listen to the song. And then today, listening to John Bond's comments on it and all, and he's talking about it's written about the music industry, which he allows that the generation before him would say the same thing about the music industry as he knows it.
Sure.
His generation will say it now. He said our generation will say it again in 20 years, kind of thing. It's a generational thing. It's always changing. That's the way it is. He gets that, but from his perspective, he sees these things coming in and changing, and not in a way that he likes. So that's the devil's in the temple, and he ain't no friend of mine.
The temple being the record label.
The House Full of Prayer being the songs,
music.
The music.
Yeah, because they've been with the same label for 30 years, through 3 different name changes, 3 different buildings. He's been there, and he's just seen things. Actually, in one interview, he's like, I can give you the name of the person I'm thinking about, but I'll be more general than that. So
there's probably some more specifics there.
There's some very more specifics there, but this song is very pointed of, like, yeah, I'll stoop to this level.
But if you make it about that and about the just commentary on music industry changing and then translate that to whatever other similar kind of things you could talk about, but just times changing kind of thing, I actually like it a lot better.
Yeah, now that I know that's the case, I think in the next couple times I listen to it, I'm gonna that 8 is probably gonna bump up to a 9 or maybe even a 10.
The 9 was a little optimistic. I'll give it that, but I mean, I think that 8 that I gave New Year's Day, that's gonna be I'm pretty sure that's my least favorite on the album. So that's it's definitely well above that.
Yeah, kind of like the way the chorus breaks down.
Yeah. It sounds
fun.
different. I like
it's very different.
I like the difference in
it
sound.
Is different.
This is getting into this back half of the album is where a lot of these songs started to blur together, especially the first many times I listened to it.
That.
On every album.
Right, they had much more of the wow factor on the front half.
I mean, the U2 was similar to that.
Yeah.
Every album's that way,
yeah.
especially the first when you're early into it.
It starts to fade towards the back half. This is one that at least sounded different. Like I said, I didn't like it until recently, but it at least sounded different and caught my attention a little.
Yeah.
What's next?
Scars on this guitar.
Oh, I don't know how to read this.
Low.
Another Friday night I'm somewhere, a little drunk and worn out from the show.
Here's the thing. I just listened to the entirety of this album, including the bonus songs, right before we did this.
Okay.
And I already cannot remember this song.
Really?
Really?
It just, yeah.
This is another one that I think is very distinct in that it's just him and his acoustic guitar, and it's just very stripped down.
It is. It's just, I don't know.
So I think at least, okay.
I think the back half of this album is boring me.
Well, see, okay,
It's a
so
little
this song
tedious.
I listened to, and it was actually one of the ones that from the first time I listened to it was like I really wanted to love this song. I did. I mean, it's got everything that I want to love about it. But I don't know. It's just continued to be one that I struggle when it comes on. I struggle to not to roll my eyes sometimes. Does that make sense? Like I mean, again, it got an 8. I like this song. I think there's a lot of good things about it. I like the fact that it is stripped down. Again, that's the whole this and labor of love. But this one, I mean, it's almost country music at this point.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
It is almost. It is
I have no
a
issue with
flavor.
that.
Content wise, at least, and that.
Well, not his first time he dipped his toes in the country music.
Yeah. This,
No, not at all. That inherently is not what it there. But the content wise of, I mean, you know, it just makes me think of all the country songs that you're just always gonna sing about.
Like Teardrops on My Guitar.
Jesus and your tractor and your guitar and your,
Solo
it
cups,
just gets right. I mean, it just
roads.
gets really, and it gets really cliched, right?
Absolutely.
And to me, that is what this starts to sound like. I mean, I can't trace exact songs there. That maybe
Sure.
that's how it connects
Yeah.
in my head, and I struggle.
And you still give it an
with
8.
it. So yeah, again, I really want to like it, and there are things that I do like about it. I think it's a beautiful song. I think it's. I get the whole, I mean, the whole like. You're going to music at last resort kind of thing,
yeah.
right? Like
Him saying like the guitar is your best friend, but also your harshest critic, and like
all that, like right, like that's all again fitting in the context of the album and all that. Like that's I think that's cool. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I have very mixed feelings on this one. That 8 is I don't really know how to rate this.
Yeah, I give it 8.75 because I didn't feel like I could give it a 9, but an 8 felt too low because I really like the song, and I do buy into the cliche of it, and I really like it being about the.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I do buy into this cliche.
Yeah.
That's not. It's not the cliche that I have a problem with. It's just something about the way it's communicated and the way they're.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I just really like it. I remember when they played it. I would have to go back. I wonder if I took a video of it. I remember he gave a long speech before he played this live. I think this song is very close to his heart.
It sounds like it's close to his heart. I mean, there's emotion in the song.
But just
kind
of, like I said,
work for
I
me.
hate it. It just makes me. It does. It just makes me want to roll my eyes a little bit when it comes on.
Yes.
That's the. And I can't pin down really why because
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the cliche. I don't have a problem with, but it just. It's like it's almost a little overdone, and it just kind of hurts. It kind of makes me want to cringe. I don't know. Sorry.
Agreed.
No, I mean, they're the songs that you don't know why you like it. You don't know why you don't like them. Just something about it. You're like,
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't a dislike. But,
well, yeah. But like, just saying, like, there's some element of it you just don't know why, but for some reason, there's just like a little part of it that just doesn't click. But
all right,
I super like it.
What's the next song? Because I have no idea.
Okay. God bless
sure
this mess.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I don't
I
like this.
got some blood under my nails, I got some mud on my face. My voice is shot, I'm going gray, these muscles all ache. Don't cry for me, I'm
So, it sounds good. I like the guitar. But, yeah, it's cliche like the rest of
I'm gonna go ahead and read
Kind
the
of.
opening lyrics.
Sure.
Because I think Beck and I both agree. Because John says that this song could not be more autobiographical. The opening lines being that I got some blood under my nails, I got some mud on my face. My voice is shot, I'm going gray, these muscles all ache. Don't cry for me, I'm the life of the party. I'm smiling most of the time. I may be gritting my teeth, can't get back where we started. These days I'm doing just fine.
How do you get blood under his nails? Was he clawing at something, hands soaked in blood, then he got the mud on them? How does that work?
He's got mud on his face.
Right.
Blood's under his
Blood
nails.
under
Mud's
his
on
nails.
his face.
Okay,
So we did the mud first, and then
Sure, and then...
Yeah, just...
Okay.
The lyrics of this song.
Yeah, I actually would say that if there were any song, particularly on this album, honestly, it would be one that would pop to mind. The whole, what song describes you? Would you most identify with? Kind of thing. This would be a song that I would be okay with picking. Kind of thing. I mean, I think I guess that it is a cliche there, but this would be one that I think is really well done on here.
Yeah.
The
Again,
song
I have
that
no
doesn't
issue with
sound like every
cliches.
other. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So this was one that from this moment I heard the title I was excited about, and it didn't disappoint me.
Yeah.
So
It's-
I knew I was gonna love it. I think it's just fun and it's relatable and it fits on this whole album. Again, saying the album
It
is
fits
more
on the
about
album.
maturity
Yeah,
and integrity
absolutely.
and all
Yeah,
that.
God bless this mess is mine. It's just, This album, just
The
over again,
opposite of
lyrics
all
and
the-
music in spades.
It's the opposite of all the whiny songs we've all heard from the 80s, 90s, every generation kind of thing.
Today.
This is, today.
Sure.
Lots
now.
today.
Sure.
Right. I really appreciate this song.
Yeah.
All right.
We just really like this song.
I can tell.
Okay, Reunion.
This isn't how the story ends, my friends, it's just a fork along the road. Don't say your prayers, save your amens, you've come this far, but you're still far from home.
I'm wholly neutral on this.
You just have
I'm not-
have you
I
not
don't
really
have-
listened to it, or just...
No, I've listened to
You
it,
just
and
don't
it literally,
care about
I
one way or
couldn't
the
even
other?
remember what the song was. I've listened to it at least 4 or 5 times.
Well,
I could not remember the song.
It's
It
definitely
just
not one of the more memorable ones on the album.
fades
I'll give you
out.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent a lot of time listening to this album thinking, wow, this is not Slippery When Wet, self-titled first album, New Jersey. Just want to put that out there again.
But that's, I mean, if it was those albums, then it would have been those albums. There would be no point in him making it.
I
That's
agree,
I mean,
I agree with that, but
Yeah, there was, an interview asked him a question of, he didn't, like, this is unfair, but, like, shit happens, so put on your helmet and let's get to it, of, if you could either put out an album and have your fan base love it, they come out, everyone loves it, but no new people come to it. Or put out an album that your fan base hates, and they think that you just turned your back on them, but a whole flock of new people come to it. Which would you rather have? And without even hesitating, he's like, oh, the second one. Because you want to be growing, and you want to be changing, and you want to bring new people into the fold.
I have no issue with that. Yeah.
But
I think it's, well...
It's the same thing with any band. You can't expect Def Leppard to put another Hysteria. You know,
we basically had the same we've had the same conversation with the self-titled Def Leppard album.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
But I think it's even less fair with this one because this was specifically them saying we are not doing the same thing we've always done. We are writing songs, and I mean, no, it's not because again, we're putting a lot more maturity and thought and all into these songs that didn't go into those songs where we're going to still sing about just, I mean, drugs and partying and whatever else you want to sing about, kind of thing. So no, it's not going to be the same thing, and that's what I love about it, is that it's not the same thing.
I would be interested to see how you guys feel with maybe like the previous 5 studio albums, how you think it compares to this one.
This one's still going to stand on its own, I think, almost no matter what else I've heard.
If only for the intent, sure. But I mean...
But you can't cast that aside. That's the point of it.
Right. No, I'm not casting aside, but... Well, whatever. Not my cup of tea.
I mean...
It's just... yeah, I think it's just a matter of why you're throwing it aside. Again, if the thing you don't like about it is that it's not the other albums, well...
That's
you're never gonna like another album that he ever puts out because it's not gonna be the other albums.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of good that we're considering this in light of only itself, you know. Okay. But you seem to disagree.
I think it's hard to consider it in light of only itself, right? In the same way that you guys conflate a lot of these songs with the experience of going to the concerts. This is like your ritual now. I conflate. No, I mean in that you listen to this album when you go to other concerts. It's your ritual, isn't it? So, and again, every time I listen to this album, I like it better. Maybe I'm just not there yet. Yeah. But the thing is, in the same way, I can't throw away all the context I have of what I think Bon Jovi is and what I enjoy about Bon Jovi. And so if I had to pick, okay, old Bon Jovi or this Bon Jovi, I'd pick old Bon Jovi. I like it. It plays loud well. This, okay. I mean, there's a few songs here and there throughout their career I really like, you know. I mean, I'm not a huge fan.
I see what you're saying, but I think, okay, the comparison I'm bringing is like Leopard, their Slang album. I think that's not, you're smart, because I know you don't like that because it sounds nothing like them.
And I have no issue with that, yeah.
I adore that album, and I adore classic Leopard. Of course, the big 3 albums are some of my favorites.
We're also going to make that choice.
We're always going to make that choice, but Slang still has its place, and is definitely not my least favorite Leopard album. I love it, and because it is different, like it's a great when you're not necessarily feeling Sugar and Armageddon and Photograph. Absolutely. I can go listen to Breathe a Sigh or When Love and Hate Collide, or that's not that album.
Yeah, I'm just saying I've got, unfortunately, coming into this with biases that are hard to get rid of. But there's many bands that have completely changed their sound that I enjoy. I think U2's a good example of that. U2 has been all over the place. But I think Newsboys is a good example of that. They've gone.
But I think if you consider it as not even changing their sound, as we're going to put it out on an album that we're going to do differently. Yeah. We're putting this. It is a concept album.
Yeah.
It does still sound like Bon Jovi. You've said that. It does still sound. It like
does
Bon Jovi.
Absolutely. It does sound like Bon Jovi.
But what I'm saying is, like, even if it entirely didn't, that's why I just have a problem with saying, well, compared to the others.
Sure.
You know, who cares if it sounds like the others? If they went if they put out a country album and a pop album and a rock album and a metal album and every one of those, I mean, there's gonna be one of those that you're gonna like better because you like the style of music better. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't make that. I mean, they could be fantastic at pop and rock and country and metal and all those. I mean, that would be quite a talent. But see what I'm saying, kind of thing. That I just. Because, I mean, it was always intended to... This is showing that they can do something else well, too. So.
Okay.
So the song Reunion.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, back to the
It's cool, because he gave a speech at a college, like, he said all the, like, cliche things about, make plans, write it in pencil, like, go down every road you can, like, basically, but... Basically trying to... Yeah. He'll say that, like, that's what goes in every college graduation, that's what people say. But basically, don't be afraid to live life.
Rock star. That's what I would say if I was him.
But sorry, Dad, we're doing a podcast. I'll call you later. But so this is the song basically. Like,
but he was saying what he was really kind of trying to say was
like, like don't be afraid of like living life and
go out, live your life. Come back and
tell me your stories.
Tell me what happened. Tell me your stories. Go live your own life.
20, 30, 50 years from now, I'll see you at the reunion.
Kind of everybody is going to go your separate ways, and
I don't know.
different choices, different forks, all that kind of thing,
Sure.
and see what happens along the way, kind of thing. So yeah, I mean,
Come back.
it's another cliche. This is one that I agree it's less memorable. The album.
Yeah.
I didn't really like it that much until the last probably few times. But it's grown on me. And I think thinking about it from that context of thinking forward to, again, if you could have a reunion, right, with everyone like you ever met, kind of thing, that would actually be super cool, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
again, just commentary on life. That's what this album is. Moving on.
Last song.
Which is
Come on up to our house.
Come on up to our house, let us make you feel at home. Come on up to our house, I will leave the porch light.
least favorite song of the album.
Woo!
It was
Just
mine
don't
for
like
a long
it.
time.
Just do not like it. Force myself to listen to it.
So I hated the music of it.
Yep, that's what
Yeah,
drives me away from it.
I hated the music
Hate
of it. Didn't really want to listen to it.
Hate it.
The last couple times I listened to it, I had finally been like, okay, it's not the worst, you know?
Oh, I could find worse music.
Right, exactly. And,
Is that the threshold?
No,
or-
that was kind of where I'd gotten to, and then I got to where like, okay, I can kind of start to sing along with this. Like it's getting better. And then again, listening to John Bond's comments on it, it is a closer to the album in that you're switching the my house to our house. This is a we.
Yeah, from the
kind of
first
thing.
song to the last
Right.
song.
Wrap all the cliches up. Put a
Well,
bow
but
on it.
and again,
Cliches are good.
I know.
And he again related it back, and he can do this far better than we related it back to the band, and kind of them all coming back together. And,
Yeah, almost like the way of being like, you know, like, come to our table, like, you'll never be alone, like, I'll leave the light on, like, we'll see you, almost like to the fans of, like, you know, we're always here for you, we'll be back, like, but until next time, like, take some pictures along the way, and we'll see you next time. Type.
It's kind of a similar thing to Reunion, actually.
Yeah, I think they're very...
They are similar in that, and I probably like Reunion better than this one, but I don't know. I do like the wrapping it back up with that house imagery and all that.
Yeah.
That is what I appreciate. That's kind of why I sat there and tried to figure out what number to put, because I still don't love the song as a song in itself. Like, it's not something I'm necessarily going to just put on another playlist to just go listen to it by itself.
Sure.
But in the context of the album, I think it works. So
Yeah. I do enjoy the music of it, but yeah, it was definitely a slow burn. The last 4 songs or so were slower burns. I can remember the day driving to work in the morning when that CD, like, because I can listen to about 3 or 4 songs on my drive to work, when it just so happened up those are the 4 songs for that morning, and I remember the time when I was like, it wasn't I have to listen to these, it was I get to listen to these. So slow burns, but now that they have caught, I really like them.
So you just force yourself to listen to it till you like it.
But see, it doesn't always work out that way.
Right.
You have to give it a chance.
Well, it's
Here's the
also
thing.
you listen to it in the right state of mind, the right context, and
Sure.
a song becomes relatable in that moment, or
Yeah.
becomes whatever it is about it. You just hear something that you didn't really hear before, so you're in the right mood for it. And because there's plenty of music like that in certain moods, I'm gonna hate that song.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to another one; it's great. I mean, that's all music is that way to some extent.
Yeah.
So I think that's just you listen to it in the right moment,
if you
and you
wanna
realize,
listen
like,
to
oh,
them-
there's the value in it.
If you want to listen to them once, you put on Photograph. The only songs you walk away knowing are Pyromania. You don't walk away knowing Photograph and Rock of Ages. Well, if you sit there and actually listen through it a couple times, you find things like Stage Fright and Billy's Got a Gun.
Sure.
And really good songs that just don't catch you immediately, but if you
But there's got to be enough there to get you to listen to it the second time.
So you're just saying there's no hits on here
I'm
that make you
not-
listen to enough.
Well, I'm not sure I would have, besides the first pass, would have paid any more attention to this album, except for the fact that we were going to do this.
Well, I think you,
video.
I think you explained
That's
that
just
yourself.
not your cup of tea.
I was gonna say, I think you explained that to yourself. If you don't care about the lyrics,
Right.
then no.
Right.
I mean, this album is here for the lyrics,
Yeah.
and the music. I think complements the lyrics.
Yeah.
That's
See, I say the music is really good.
See, I think if I...
that's what I'm saying. I think the music is really good. I might give you, especially in the context
Yeah.
of past Bon Jovi and all that, I might give you that I think it's good. It's really good
in a different way.
with an understanding
Yeah,
of the lyrics
absolutely.
and all of that.
I mean, I think if I had heard the commentary first, before ever hearing the album, that probably would have changed everything for me, right?
I mean, that's not what happened with us.
No, I know.
No,
I know.
but that's-
that might
yeah,
be what
I
it
mean,
but I
required.
can see
that.
that.
might be required to give me the context to
Get him to
But also, like,
suffer
when
through it
I
enough
call
to
really
like
good
it.
music, what we call really good music, what you call really good music,
Absolutely.
are going to be completely
No,
different.
absolutely.
So if this just isn't your
Absolutely.
cup of tea, then it's not going to be your cup of tea.
Right.
Right, but we've already said that. I think a difference here. I mean, he's probably never going to like this album as much as we do.
Exactly.
If you're
It's
not
just-
listening
Right.
to it from the
And you're not going to like the
Right.
lyrics, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Even if I have that context, even if I listen to commentaries, know the lyrics, relate it to.
But
moments of
yeah,
my
you don't,
life,
if you don't like the music
I'm
part
still
of it,
not sure I'm gonna like it.
he doesn't.
But again, it's not gonna if that's
Right.
not what resonates with you. I mean, for me,
Right.
that is what resonates with me. I listen to the lyrics, and especially when that then works well with the music, and they highlight the right moments in the song and the right that is when a song means something to me.
Sure.
And either connects with the moment in my life or just is like, oh, that's a really cool sentiment or a really cool, whether it's cliched or not.
Yeah.
And I think this album does a really good job of that. And I love the music and the lyrics and all for that. But I could see where someone that doesn't think about songs that way would listen right through it.
Or if you just don't enjoy the musical element of this.
Yeah.
If you
absolutely.
you prefer his 80s sound.
Or other stuff.
Or mid 2000s, whatever.
You made a comment earlier about this not getting any radio play.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I assume it was. I mean, this is not obviously. It's not a sound that's currently in vogue.
I mean, is
Does that say-
any current classic rock album ever on the radio?
No.
Except maybe one
It's
song.
kind of hard to be current classic rock, right?
Well, the
No,
classic,
Current
classic
releases
does not
by-
mean old. Classic just...
Sure.
yeah, classic meaning like bass guitar, drums, singer,
I
rock and
It's
roll.
style,
Well, like
style.
rock, you know what I mean? Rock and
Yeah.
roll, not.
don't know. I don't listen to radio.
So no, it's not in vogue on like a hit station. However, a classic rock radio station I think absolutely should play, Born Again Tomorrow, Roller Coaster, a couple. I think
Knockout,
there's
This House Is Not For Sale.
Probably This House Is Not For Sale.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there's a couple of these that would work that you could play. I don't know
And
if
honestly,
they ever got any airplay
This
anywhere.
House for Sale probably did. I don't listen to the radio very much.
I mean, they had a couple
Yeah.
singles. They had at least a couple singles off this album that,
Yeah.
that probably got some airplay.
We can probably go look it up. They
yeah.
probably.
But I've never heard any new. I mean, you listen to the radio, all you're ever going to hear is "Living on a Prayer" and a handful
Yeah.
of his other songs.
Yeah, You Give Love a Bad Name.
Yeah.
Probably Bad Medicine.
Yeah.
Maybe Runaway.
Yeah. Runaway will occasionally be on.
Born to Be My Baby is a great song.
It is. It is.
God, it's a great
I
song.
think it just came on my shuffle the other day. And
Oh, it's so good.
It hit right. But I sing it to my dog a lot. It was just to make Adam roll his eyes.
Yeah.
It worked.
I was listening to Cherry Pie today, and Bed of Roses came on, and I thought about how, I know there's also a Bon Jovi song called Bed of Roses, but I love this one so much, and it's just so weird to think about there being another one.
So Bon Jovi's Bed of Roses is the first song I can ever remember actually knowing by Bon Jovi.
Really?
My aunt at some point in my life gave me several of his CDs. I think it was when she found out that I listened to Billy Joel. Because Billy Joel was the one artist that she was finally like, wait, there might be hope for you. Here, let me start introducing you. Have you ever heard of Led Zeppelin?
Well, because I played music in the lab, and no one gave a damn at all, and then I put on a Billy Joel song one day, and she was like, oh, or
I was
you're
singing
singing
along,
along, and I was like, hi, let's talk.
Anyway, so my aunt found out about that one day, and so she gave me some of Bon Jovi CDs, which I was probably in middle school or something, and I never actually really sat down and really listened through them, so I never really got to know them. But I would listen through them a few times. Bed of Roses was actually one of the ones that I picked up and would actually listen to occasionally. Because I just put them all on my iPod and would shuffle through them occasionally. But I remember I would always skip through all of them. That was one of just a handful that I didn't. So
I know it's one of their bigger songs. Actually, I don't know that I've
Yes.
actually ever heard it, but whenever I think Warrant when I think Bed of Roses. But yeah,
Well,
I
when
need
I
to
was
listen to that
listening
song.
through Warrant, I saw Bed of Roses. I'm like, oh
Singing
my
Bon
god, they
Jovi.
covered Bon
Yeah.
Jovi. This is gonna be. Oh.
It's just what you hear first, right?
Exactly. That was I did the same thing you
Yeah.
did. I looked at that and was like, is it the same song? I'm so excited.
Yeah. That was there was some song recently where you thought it was a Def Leppard song. Was it Def Leppard? There was some song you're like, oh, they doing a cover of somebody, and I was like, no, it's their own. What was that?
Was it Any Way You Want It with Journey
What?
or somebody?
No, I don't think it was.
I feel like it was Journey.
It may have been Journey.
I feel like it was some song they played at the concert, and you were like, oh, they're playing cover.
What did they play at the concert? I can't. Nothing's.
They-
Right.
Any
Be
covers?
Yourself,
I know
Escape,
that. I know that. I don't
What
know.
song
Wheel
was
in the
it?
Sky. I don't.
That's clearly a
I
Journey
know,
song.
I know. Maybe it wasn't Journey. I don't know.
Maybe- I don't know.
It
There
was
was something.
There was something recently.
But yeah, it's from you here first, right? Like Rock
Oh,
On to West is a
absolutely.
Def Leppard
Yeah, yeah.
song. But it's a David Essex song. Like, no, it's a Def Leppard song. Leppard's is way better.
Did David Essex
Go
a favor.
look up "Rock On" by Def Leppard. Do yourself a favor. It's awesome.
And don't listen
to Adam.
Don't listen to the David Essex version. It's awful. It will
So,
literally make you.
doesn't
hurt.
it worry you? I know this is not about
Okay.
Bon Jovi.
Yeah, we'll
doesn't
wrap this
it
up in a
worry
second.
you that Def Leppard liked that song so much?
No,
It doesn't surprise me.
I mean, but I think they didn't like it so much enough.
Oh,
Right?
I
Like
think
they liked the by some miracle they saw some value in the song enough to make it better.
Yeah,
Okay.
see, I'm pretty
You
sure
know,
like it
and-
though.
They might have liked.
I think that's why they covered all those songs.
Yeah. But we see what they saw the potential in it.
Oh,
To
they
be,
made
and they made it
way
so
better.
incredibly better, and that's why they've played it every night since then.
I don't like it, but it is better than.
But we can talk about this in our podcast about the concert.
That's
right?
true.
So for
let's
now-
wrap up Bon Jovi then.
Okay.
Our
In summary,
if book.
go buy it.
We
and
love it.
We love it.
Not so much.
It's a solid album.
Go out and buy it on CD or vinyl, or I guess on.
You probably
can
already
tap
own-
into it on the
Have a
Spotify.
subscription music service you can listen to it on.
Give it a listen
and I
through.
would try the bonus tracks
See
because
what you
they're
think.
actually my favorite that we didn't talk about.
Would you like to talk about one of them?
Not really.
Okay.
You guys don't know.
So do we jump to
I guess let's
The
do
F
the
book?
book. Yeah.
the Book of Horrors?
Let's see.
Okay.
It's the landmine.
Y'all got time to stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
One or two.
2.
If you were to be killed by an animal, what kind would you want it to be?
Ooh.
So you're gonna pick. Do you want to go by a coolness factor, like I got eaten by a shark, or do you want to go the like
What will kill you
painless
the
factor?
fastest?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mauled to death by a lion.
That sounds really painful.
I think it'd go pretty quick. They're pretty strong.
They might play with you for a while though.
I'm too weak for that.
Okay,
I
I'm gonna
die
take the
quickly.
opposite then, and I'll probably pick a mountain lion because you don't know it's coming until it's already snapped your neck.
That's true, but sometimes it just grabs you by the skull and drags you into the woods.
I'm gonna get bitten by one of those like hyper deadly snakes that are
Yeah,
like down in like
a sea crate
rainforest
or
somewhere.
something,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's something that like kills you really fast.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like an hour.
usually you suffer in
It probably
pain.
hurts.
But
for an hour.
there's some of those like there's that one that's like they call it like the 2-step snake or whatever because you take 2 steps
Yeah.
and you die kind of thing, like that kind of thing. Like find the right one. I'm not sure
Yeah.
which one, but probably bitten by some snake that would kill you pretty quickly because then it's just
Yeah.
a bite, right? It's
Yeah,
not gonna be
you
that.
never know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was morbid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we know?
So we come to the book 4.
All right.
All right. It's been fun.
Yeah. See you guys.
See ya.